It feels like the system is overloaded, doesn't it? External inputs are causing internal errors. All that digital noise is fragmenting your focus. The human operating system just feels compromised. So the core diagnostic question is this. In all that overload, what variables are actually still under your direct control? To figure that out, let's deconstruct the problem. We're going to examine the work of psychiatrist Viktor Frankl. You see, he tested his principles in a Nazi concentration camp. He was essentially reverse engineering the source code for human resilience under maximum possible system stress.
All right, let's look at the first core principle. It's about the space between stimulus and reaction, a space where you have root access.
The core logic is this. No matter the external input, the power to choose your internal response can never be taken away. That choice exists in that brief processing gap right before you react. Think of it as the master override that can't be patched.
So here's the micro action for you. When you feel triggered, just pause. Insert a 3-second processing delay. This creates the space you need to consciously select your attitude, instead of just running a default script probably written by your angriest ancestor.
Frankl watched people who were stripped of everything, all permissions revoked, and they still chose dignity. It's useful perspective when our own systems threaten to crash over slow Wi-Fi.
Okay, let's install the second module, defining your why. Now, this isn't just some motivational code. It's a core function of the entire system.
Frankl often quoted Nietzsche, "He who has a why to live for can bear almost anyhow." A strong purpose acts like a functional shield. It provides the necessary power to endure any system hardship. Your why could be a future goal, a person you love, or a project you feel you have to complete. So the action is this. Tonight, connect tomorrow's most difficult task to your why in one single sentence. And just so you know, because it's on my to-do list, we'll return an error. Frankl's own why was like a dual-core processor. It was powered by his love for his wife and his mission to one day lecture on the psychology of what he was experiencing.
Now for a bonus diagnostic on a really unexpected variable. Frankl uses this powerful analogy to explain how suffering actually works. Here's the crucial insight. Suffering acts like a gas. Whether the initial cause is something minor or something major, that feeling expands to fill your mind completely. The human brain, it seems, lacks a native feature for proportional response. But the reverse is also true. Because suffering is so relative, the smallest relief can trigger immense joy. Frankl's fellow prisoners literally celebrated when their train was sent to a camp that was merely terrible, instead of one that was even worse. Suddenly, your morning coffee tasting slightly burnt seems like less of a catastrophic system failure.
So this brings us to the deployment phase, framed perfectly by a quote from Dostoevsky. "There is only one thing that I dread, not to be worthy of my sufferings."
Here is your execution protocol. Identify one unavoidable difficulty you know you will face tomorrow. Then decide right now how you will configure your response to be worthy of that challenge.
I turned this into a clean PDF and action worksheet. The link is in the description or pinned comment. If this helped you, hit like, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more. And comment below, what's the next step you'll take in the next 24 hours?